Okay, I'm trying to figure out something to do with this old board. I've had it laying around and I need to get something done with it. And I printed this out. I bought the image off of Etsy. So I'm going to take some water and just go around it so it's not perfectly straight right now. And then I'm going to try to figure out something else. I'm sure I'll end up painting the board. So, okay, I'm going to rip that much off and see what that's like. Yeah, that's going to look way better than just straight. The brush doesn't stay wet very long. I got me one of those water pens, and I used it. It worked good. But once I got finished with, I need to put more water in it. I couldn't get the cap off. So, it's sitting there, not using it. Can't get any water in it. Gotta get my hand out of the way so I can see. Make sure that's not wet underneath there. Yeah, it's not real wet right there. Okay. I think I'm going to kind of round this corner over here. Alright, let me see. Bring that here. Now I need to probably paint dry brush or something to the, because this has some purple and green in it, which doesn't show up bad. It's an old board. It was used for something else. Okay. I'm going to paint the board white, but I wonder, once again, I'm going to have to contemplate on what I'm doing and how I'm going to fix this. But so far, I'm liking it. I wonder if I scoop that up maybe and take like a handle or a handle and put down here. I have lots of old handles. I know, everybody else comes on here and they just have a whole plan and they know what they're doing, and me, I'm like, I don't know. I want to start something, but when I go to start it, I have to show you when I'm starting it, but I don't know what I'm doing because I kind of play things by ear as I go. Alright, I'm going to stop the video and figure out what I'm doing once again. Okay, I came out to the garage, and I think I cut 2 pieces of board, and I covered up this premium on that, because I think I'm going to come down right on like that. Oops, I'm out of frame. I covered up the premium. And I kind of took my marker and followed the edge there, so I kind of tapered that one in. And I think I'm going to paint the board a white. And then I'm going to take the little small pieces of board, I believe, and put the vinegar solution on it I made with the vinegar and steel wool. And last time I used it, it was really, really dark. So I'm going to get me another jar and add a little vinegar to it so it's not quite so dark. But right now, that's my plan, subject to change if I don't like it. All right, I'm going to take these two pieces and put this vinegar. What you do is you put some vinegar in a jar like this, and then you put a piece of is it 0001 on the finest steel wool that you can find, and you let it set. My first batch done really well. The second batch I had to wait on quite a while to turn, and then boy, I'm telling you, when it turned because I had this jar full, and I've taken part of it and put it in here and poured some more vinegar in it, and hoping this doesn't turn that dark, because the last time I used it, the wood literally looked like, I mean, it was so dark, it looked burnt. So I could say watered it down, but I added more vinegar to it. But you can see the difference, what it's doing already. But I'm going to do this, and then I am going to take this outside so it can dry faster. And then I'll get my board, and I think I'm going to use plaster, the color plaster on it, and cover it. All right, that's that. Now I'm going to take this outside and let it dry. All right, now I'm going to take the color in Waverly, and it's called plaster. I use that on just about everything. And I'm going to use a chippy brush. Turn my thing that way. Because I don't think I'm going to give it a total coverage. But I do know this back here for the roosters, I'm not going to Mod Podge down. It needs to be light colored behind it. That's going to help cover up some of that purple and green that's on this board. Actually, what was on this, it was hanging in my business. I have a kind of a fast food taco place. And in the dining room, this was hanging in there, and it was painted purple with green accents with a ceramic half, I think it was avocado, yeah. It was really cute. But then we changed our colors, so I took it down, and I don't have a clue what I've done with the avocado. Probably threw it out. And I kept the board, of course, because it's wood. I like wood. All right, that's all I'm going to do this. I'm going to let it dry good before I Mod Podge this on there. I took this out and I sanded on the edges very lightly, not a lot. And I've laid this right here because this paper just slides real easy. And I've placed everything where I want it. I'm going to move these off and get my Mod Podge and start putting that down on there. And then it has to dry. It wouldn't take so long if things didn't have to dry, but Okay. I bet I didn't get my plastic bag again. Now I'm going to just do the rest of it, and we'll let that dry, and I'll figure out what I'm going to do from there. All right, instead of y'all sitting here watching me do this, I'm going to finish it up, and when it's dry, I will take these out and glue and nail these on. Well, actually, I'll probably do something to the board. Maybe put some dark wax over the image or something first. But I'm going to finish this up right fast. I almost forgot to turn the video on. And I was just testing this right in here because this will cover it up. And I'm wondering if I want it all that dark. Kind of already started it because it will go, that piece will go right about right there, I think. And I already put it on this, so I'm going to go all over with the brown wax, at least on the sides, and then maybe hit the middle of it lightly. Probably should have waxed it. That's really pulling that in. You can see right in there though where I hit it with the wax, or not the wax, but the Mod Podge. So it's turning colors. That will be covered, so that's okay. I'm starting to go, oh no. Now, I'm just going to kind of lightly go over that where it doesn't look new. I'm giving it a pretty good push, I just don't have a lot on there. Okay, I like the way that looks. Turned out good. It did. Okay, now let's see what my next step is. Move all this out of my way. Turn this where I can see it. This piece will go right about there. I'll have to glue it, put some glue on it, and take it to the garage and put some little brad nails in it. That'll go right in there. Now, to me, that still looks plain. So I have these. I really like this one on there. This is one I got at the thrift store, paid $1 for, and it was from Hobby Lobby. You could have got it for, when they're half price, for $3. So that was still a good deal. But I really like the way that one looks on it. But my problem is it's really heavy. And I don't know how to screw it down on there. I bet I could get a little piece of like dowel rod and glue it down in there and make my holes and glue, you know, hit this with the drill, make some holes. And glue it, and it would be good and secure. Or I have this old-fashioned handle. That would be really easy to put on there because I have the little black screws that go with it. I don't know which one I want to use. Well, I'd rather use this one, but this would be much easier. And I'd kind of like to save this for another project. I wonder, should I put some little bit of rust on this if I use it? Well, I'm going to sit here and look at it and think about what I'm going to do, and I'll come back and let you all know. I've decided to go ahead and rust this handle, and if I don't like it, I have a whole bunch of these. I bought those in a one craft show I went to. I went out and I found a big bag of the hinges and these. They were $10, but there was a lot in there. So I am going to go ahead and do one. And now I'm going to have to stop and try to get my patina paint, the iron, open. That's what I'm going to use to rust it. Okay, I just had to give it a couple bangs to loosen it up. I always try to go around there and clean it off, but I guess with me shaking it, it probably runs down in there. I don't want to give it a full... I don't want to rust the whole thing. So... let's go around the edges. Just about the whole thing's getting covered. Maybe I have to do that lightly. Now, I'm going to let that dry and come back and give it another coat and spray the what is it called? Well, anyways, the stuff you put over this. I don't have it out yet, so I'm going to let this dry good, and then I'll come back and dab a little more on there and then spray it. It's dry now, so I'm going to give it the second coat and then put the Dixie Belle patina spray in green on it. And I'm going to see what it looks like. Like I said, if I don't care for it, I have more. We'll see, though. I'm always quiet when I'm doing something because I am concentrating, and I think I always say that. All right, now I am going to spray it. Get that out of my way. I don't want to spill it. That would not be fun. Make sure that's... I always spray it down on my trash can when I first start to make sure it's spraying. Well, I did. Okay, there. Now, I just got to leave that and let it dry and see how it turns out. Here's the handle. I decided to go all over it. It's glare in here. Let me see if I can pick that up some. But that's how it turned out with the Dixie Belle patina, the rust patina. And now to make a hanger, which is kind of difficult because the board, I really can't put like a sawtooth hanger or anything on the back. So what I'm going to do is I have this rope from the Dollar Tree. And I've got one of my larger bits. I've got it marked there to drill a hole. And there, and I had to be careful with this over here because this wood does get thin, so I really needed to go down that far. I couldn't bring it up because it gets really thin right in here. So I'm going to drill my holes and attach the rope for a hanger. I have it finished, and the handle, let me show you that. I went ahead and rusted the whole handle, and I like the way it turned out. And then to hang it, of course, I drilled the holes and put the rope through there. And on each of the knots, I put some hot glue down in and around so that they wouldn't come undone. And then on the back side, I kind of brought the rope up like this and put a staple across it, and then, well, first off, a bead of hot glue, laid it down on there, and then stapled it. So it hangs even now. And this is the only place I could find to film this because it is kind of misty and raining out today. Thank the Lord, we needed the rain. And this is the way it turned out, and I think it turned out really cute. I had to use my husband's wall to show it, but it works. It's all right. All right, next I want to show you, I had a subscriber send me some pictures, and I want to share them. She said I inspired her to make these, and they turned out really cute. So keep watching. All right, here are the pumpkins that Missy made. And I don't know if these are the 4x4 or the 2x4s, but I can see it looks like they have been crackled. And she's decorated the top and put the stems on them, and they just turned out adorable. And here's Missy's take on the cloth flowers and the crows. Look at her flowers. She used different kind of material. I'm going to have to be on the outlook for different styles of material. I'm always just using a solid, it seems like. I love those flowers. And the little crows she made, they're just adorable. Missy, I thank you so much for sharing with me. And if anybody else has something they've made from my ideas and my videos, I would just love to see it. And I would love to share it with my other subscribers. All right, I have one more quick project, so let's get to it. This is my next project. I bought this file off of Etsy, and I'll link it down below. I think I only paid like $1.79 or something like that for it. But I did have to enlarge it, so I brought it into Silhouette software, and I did enlarge it and cut it out on just a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Now I'm going to go to the garage, and I know I have some thin, probably 1/4 inch sheets of, I don't know what it is. It's a 1/4 inch board anyways. I'm going to take it out there and trace it off, and I'll use my scroll saw to cut it out. I've been wanting one of these to hang on my front door. We have cattle, so it's fitting for the farm, right? And I've been seeing these everywhere, and I think they're really cute. So I'm going to make one to go on my front door. Of course, it won't go there until after Christmas, but that's usually a time of year that I really don't have a lot, so I'll have it ready to go. And after Christmas, when I take my Christmas decor down, I'm going to put this on my front door. But right now, I'm going to take it out to the garage and cut it out. Okay, I took my pattern and drew it off on this 1/4 inch thin board. And now I'll take it over here to the scroll saw and cut it out. But I think I need to clean a little bit of my mess up so I can get to it. And now I'm going to cut this one out. Okay. All right, now that I have it all cut out, I have just free-handed this right in here, and I'm going to paint this down through here white and this black. I've already drilled out my little holes, and I'm going to use some jute for a hanger. So right now I'm going to use Dixie Belle in drop cloth. I said white, but it's kind of off-white. But I'm just going to paint this, and then I'm going to do the other black. This is really a simple one. Once you get it cut, your pattern drawn off, your wood, and you get it cut, it's really simple. So I'm not going to have you all sitting here while I paint all this. And I'll come back when I'm starting to finish it up, because this shouldn't take long. Once it dries, it should be almost done. Okay, I'm going to do a voiceover on this because it's been a while since I've done any shading. And I'm going to have to concentrate and kind of take my time. I dip my brush in water, and then I dip it also on one edge in the brown, and then I just lightly go around. But I'll come back when I have all that finished, and I'll show you what it looks like. Well, I have my cow head out in the garage drying. I did put a clear matte spray over it, and I'm sitting here trying to make some kind of a bow, and I don't have a lot of, I'm used to just using material. I don't have a lot of, ribbon is what I'm trying to say, and I didn't like that black and white. I like tan it, so I'm just using a few of the lace ribbons I have, and some seam binding, some material, and some jute. And some cheesecloth. That's what I was trying to say. But I'm fixing just gather it up and tie it and see how it works. I'll probably have to trim it down. That's where I'm at on the bow. Alright, I got my bow made, and here's my tag. And the way I'm going to put the tag on, well, I'll show that when I go to put it on. Am I in frame? Yeah. Anyways, let me move that down just a bit. I've made two different ones. I've done the welcome. I cut these out with the cameo, or the milk 5 cents. I don't know. There's that one. It's going to be hanging on my door, but it's not like the welcome's going to show up a whole lot. Well, it is going to be on the front door, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and put the welcome on. Yeah, I'll just do that one. Might make another one, and I'll keep that back for another one. Pull that off. I've got black paint I was painting my cow with. I got that down on there good. And we'll just stencil that. My cow should be dry by now. Don't want to go onto the wood. Okay, that's good. Okay. I need to weed the O, the center out of the O. That paint's a little wet, so I don't want to touch it. All right, now I'll go get my cow, and I think I'm ready to start putting it together. All right, have my cow head, and now I need to make the hanger. I'm going to have to paint my back. Probably should have put some tape around that. Okay. That's probably hanging far enough right there. Put a knot in there. Several knots. And now knot this one. Okay, now I'm letting that dry. While that's drying, I think I'll put on the... Yeah, I'm going to kind of take my finger sander. That's just looking too neat for me. And just kind of go around my edges just a little bit. Kind of doing it away from my cow so I don't get the dust everywhere. Okay, that's good. Just doesn't look... Alright, I think about right there. Okay, on my... What I'm going to put that on with is I took... This is called... it says a decorative nail. I just took one of these and took my wire cutter and snipped it off so it wouldn't go all the way through. And then I coated it with some... what's that stuff? Hang on. My mind just goes blank. This, rub and buff, black rub and buff. Okay, now I'm going to cover that up though when I nail it because it'll probably knock it off if I don't. And I think right there is good. And I did just put a small hole through this here to get it started. Say about right. I like about right there, but is that going to stay on the wood? Yeah. Well, it still took it off. I'll have to redo it, but that's okay. It's on there. That's dry. Now I need to trim those. And now for the bow. Just put it... Yeah, I think that bow will work. I think it looks just fine. Now, got my hot glue gun. Bring it up some. All right, I think that's done. That was a simple, really a simple project. And I did have a head traced out on one. It's smaller, but I made it bigger. But I went and drew lines to make nostrils and eyes, and I thought, no, I'm keeping this simple. I'm just black and white, or I used the drop cloth. But, I mean, it's just black and white. Now, I did take, like I showed you on the, around here, the highlighting. I haven't done that for a long time, and I just showed a little clip of it so I could breathe, or not breathe, and not talk, and go around. And I like the way that turned out. It's just a cute, simple little project, and I think that'll look cute hanging on the door. Well, this was an easy project to do. It was fast, other than waiting for the paint to dry. And I'll give you a little bit of a close-up. You can see where I shaded it and put the welcome on and used what was called a decorative nail and made the messy bow and put the hanger on it, and it's finished. But to me, it's a little small, So I think what I'm going to do between now and the new year is I'm going to find a 14-inch round piece of wood, and I'm going to put it on that because I think it really needs to be a little larger. Alright guys, that's it for this video, and I hope you enjoyed all of it. And until the next one, may God bless, and we'll see you later.